This is the implicit show, implicit show, implicit show. This is the implicit show starring Bren Dubé.
Bears, I was like opening my mouth, getting ready to say, "Hey,
I know,
what's
I
up, hello?"
saw.
And you're just like, "No." Anyway, you heard the man. This is the Implicit Show. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Starring Bren Dubé.
Starring the one and only Bren Dubé. Anyways, today is a fun day. Today's Mastermind Friday. We got our friend Bearj. Bearj, why don't you just take it away, man? Take it away.
Where do you want me to take it to?
Take it to the intro, man. Just take it away somewhere.
I just did it. We're here, man. We're here. We're ready to go. It's Friday afternoon, and some people have had a long week. Some people have had a tough week. Some people have had a great week. But either way, tomorrow's coming. The next minute's coming. Right now is here. And what are you going to do with it? The past is the past. It's not the present. The present actually is the implicit show. Let's do it. Let's get going.
Awesome. So, what's the topic for today, Bears? People know this show for the most part. What do we do on Fridays? What's Friday? What are Fridays all about?
Mastermind. Friday.
And what does that mean?
That means that there's going to be some crazy guy on here
on Fridays?
on Fridays, namely probably me. And we're going to be talking about how to become better at whatever it is we're doing. We take an issue that is a struggle and figure out a way to make it less of a struggle or solve a problem that's sitting there. And you just never know what you learn during a mastermind. And the whole idea is, hey, Bren's 22. I'm older than 22. And, and there are still things I can learn from Bren. And there are things that Bren learns from me. And we know that together we have more value than we do apart. So that's what masterminding is all about.
Yeah, totally. I'm telling you, I've learned so much already from doing this mastermind every Friday, because I think one of the biggest parts about it is just having that focus on your goals consistently. Like, I used to, before we started doing this mastermind thing, I'd have these goals, I'd have these plans, these things that I wanted to do with my life. But then, maybe a week would go by, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I could just completely forget about all my goals. But what this call helps me to do is every single Friday, even if I forgot about my goals somewhere along the week, I know that Friday is coming up, and Friday, my focus is on my goals. I need to get on this live stream and I need to produce results. I got to tell you guys where I am in my goals. I got to, own up to Bearj and be like, Bearj, man, like, this is where I'm at. This is what we talked about last week, and this is where I'm at. And so if you guys tuned in last week, you guys will know Bearj is working on a book that he's been writing for a little while, trying to write a certain amount of words per day. So how's that going, man? Tell us a little bit about where you've been in the past week.
It's going really interesting, man. It's Brent, I got to tell you, this is all this stuff, all the things that I'm doing right now are brand new to me. But I feel so good about all of them, which is a pretty cool thing. And the book is the main thrust of what's going on. And I found out about a week ago that I've actually written more than I thought I had. A friend of mine who's published a lot of different books, he said, "How many words do you have written?" I told him, I said, I have I think it was like 16,000 words. And I said, it's like 30 pages. He said, "No, that's like 60 pages.
There you go.
I said, "Seriously?" He said, "Yes." He said, "You've written about 60 pages so far," which I didn't realize I had written that much, which is pretty amazing. So he and I were talking about it, and I said, I'm concerned about some different things. I want to make sure, I've written a lot for this book, and I want to make sure that it's a good book, that I'm on track for what I need to do. If what I'm writing is clear and concise, if I'm on point with it, if the format is a good format, and if it's going to resonate with people. And I'd really like for someone to read it. So I sent it to him a couple of days ago, and he sent it to an editor who's going to look at it in the next few days and then get back to me. So hopefully I'll start to get some feedback. I stopped writing right now while I'm waiting for that feedback, because I want to make sure that the direction I'm going is the right direction. And I don't want to continue down a path if I need to change it. So I'm just waiting for that feedback. I'm excited about it. This is new stuff for me. I've never, for me to say, "Oh yeah, here's my stuff, just take a look at it." is not me.
Right.
To be that open and willing to say, critique this, do whatever you have to do with this. If it sucks, tell me what I need to fix. That's just not me. But it's become who I am.
Yeah, you kind of don't have a choice, do you? Right?
I
When you're
don't. I have to do this. I mean, if you want to get better, you've got to allow people who have been there before you to guide the way. You've got to get your ego out of the whole equation,
hmm
and you've got to allow others who have been there before you, other people. Why is it that I don't look the same centered as I do on my screen here? I don't get that. I'm looking at my image on Facebook, and I'm off to one corner. So I need to move here. Is this right?
You're
I
you're
don't
good,
know.
Bears.
I don't know what's
Actually,
going on.
me and
Anyhow,
Bears were messing around with the technology beforehand, and so we're working on it. We're
there we
working on
go. I look better now. Look at that. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'll be over
it.
here.
You got it.
I'm
You
over
got
here now.
it.
All right.
Yeah, man. So you were writing a certain amount of words per day, so you're not doing that anymore. You're just kind of waiting on to see what you get from
That's
your
right.
editors. Yeah.
So in the meantime, what I'm doing in the meantime is I've had this whole social media campaign, building my Facebook fan page up. I'm about to hit 10,000 fans on there, which is very cool. I'm really excited about that. And uh, I'm going to start marketing my speaking course on there. My one-on-one speaking course is going to be marketed on there. So I've been working on that in the meantime. I haven't said, well, I can't do the book. Now I get to just chill. No, there's other things that have to get worked on. So while I'm in the holding pattern for that, I'm filling my time with other things. So I have an online course that I just moved over to a new platform, and I figured out, it took me a little while to figure out how to do it, but to put my speaking course that I had on my website, I'm going to house it on this other site instead, because it's a lot slicker and smoother and easier for my students and for me too.
hmm
So I'm going to move that over there, and that way all of my courses will be in the same place, which is
I got a
really
question.
important.
I got a question
Yeah.
for you, man. How many projects do you think you have on the go at a time? Like, do you try to choose one thing and you don't start or do anything else until that's finished, or do you kind of pick a couple things, like you're working on your book and you got your social media? Do you have other projects, or do you kind of just choose one and like go all in on that?
That's a really good question. The way I'm doing it is I pretty much take one thing at a time that I work on the majority of the time. That being said, there are other things going on that I've got to also put some time into also. So I don't stop everything and just do one thing.
hmm
I might do that for a few days, but I'm not doing that long term. So yeah, my book has been a big deal. I've spent, anywhere from 2 to 6 hours writing on various days over the last 2 months, but I haven't done nothing else during the other time. I've been working on building my, so clearly, I mean, in the last 4 weeks, my my fan page has exploded. It's about 8 times bigger than it was before 4 weeks ago. So, clearly I'm working on that, but that's more of a little bit here, a little bit there type of deal. You don't need to be on that all day long.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's something that I've been kind of see. That's where I've been kind of overwhelmed, and I'd say this. I think every week I bring up this feeling of overwhelm, because I think for myself I have so many projects. Like, I'm looking over at my whiteboard right now. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do that and that and that and that and that and that. And I got a gig tonight, so I'm like getting ready to go for that. So sometimes I feel like I have too many things going on at once, and then I get a little overwhelmed. Um, but I kind of know what you mean. There's some things like Facebook, which and social media, which is good, where you kind of put in a certain amount of time per day, and then you could just back out and just chill from then on out. But yeah,
Right. Yeah, and I feel the same way a lot of times. And I think that's par for the course as an entrepreneur, because let's face it, you and I are pretty much the whole show for each, you got a few people on your team. I have, a couple people who work on my team as well, but not to the extent I don't think that you do. The overwhelming majority of what I do gets done by me. All the social media stuff gets done by me. If I need images, I have my photographer that I go to, but they're not really a part of my team. That's an as needed basis. Uh, all the stuff I do with my courses, every bit of that is me. So, in some ways it'd be great to have a team because we can schedule things and then I'm committed to that person for that time. Like,
Mhm.
it's really easy as an entrepreneur to take your time and say, "Oh, well, I'll do this instead right now and I'll do this other thing some other time."
That's
Like,
just the thing, man. You don't have anybody to own up to. I mean, when I quit my job about a year ago now, when I quit my job and said I was going to go all in on on entrepreneurship, on doing my own thing, being my own boss, is like I was lazy, like super lazy that first month because I had nobody there telling me what to do. It was like there's so much more brain power involved. You have to create your own work. Like you have to be your own boss. So even when you're feeling lazy and when you're feeling like slacking off, you don't have a boss. You don't have somebody signing your paycheck to say, "Here you go." Like, come on, step it up. Right?
right.
You have to kind of step outside of yourself and then tell yourself what you need to hear in those moments, which is tough. So entrepreneurship is definitely not for everybody because it has that kind of challenge. There's so much to it that I think I definitely underestimated it before I got into it myself. I thought, hey, I get to be my own boss. Like, how can it get any easier? Yes, it can.
Yeah, because I mean, so here's my deal. I'll be really transparent with this, Brent, because this is important, I think, for people to know and to understand. Because, well, I'll use this first thing as an example. Back in September, I had an event with my buddy James, and a friend of mine was there. A friend of mine that Mike, my friend Mike,
Mike, yeah.
and he was there, and he has different things he's trying to work out in his life, and after the event, he said, doing this is so easy for you. It's so easy for you to get up on that stage, and it's so easy for you to do this thing, and it's really simple for you to do this other thing. And I said, Mike, you think it's easy, but I've been working on being able to do this for 20 years. It
Mm-hmm.
took me 20 years to get my butt up on this stage like this. This wasn't easy. This was 20 years worth of really hard work. And I think that's a point that people miss. That being an entrepreneur is hard work. We're crazy.
Yep.
We literally are crazy.
Yep.
You know, I'll look back to different times when I was working and I could come home and just chill because I was getting a paycheck again the next time. When the next paycheck came, I got another paycheck. Every other Friday, money was deposited into my bank account and I could call in sick and not do anything that day and I still got paid. That's just
Mm-hmm.
how it was. It's how it worked. And it's not like that as an entrepreneur. What you put into it is what you get out of it, which is in a lot of ways really good because if you put more in, you get more out. The problem is we're kind of like Fred Flintstone. You know do you have Fred Flintstone in Canada?
Yes, Bearj.
Okay, so Fred Flintstone, he's got his feet. That's how they drive their car, with their feet. And when you watch it, he spins his feet a whole bunch of times before the car finally takes off. And that's kind of what it's like being an entrepreneur, where you are pedaling and pedaling and pedaling. You're not going anywhere yet. And you've got to keep going and going and going and going until you finally start to move forward. And I was just like you when I left my job. I had taught for 28 years. 13 of those years, I was a high school band director and I worked 24/7, 365. My time belonged to everyone else. My social life was wrapped around my work life. I didn't have my own life. So when I left to go to the elementary school, I had all this time, which was awesome. And I loved it. And then when I left my job completely, I, for a little while, first of all, I didn't know what to do. I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know how to do it. Meaning, I knew how to get on a stage and speak, but I didn't know how to get someone to get me on a stage. I didn't know how to. I didn't know I could create courses online, and if I could, I didn't know how to do it and what platforms to use. I didn't know any of that stuff. So I had to find those things out, and a lot of that time, Bren, was spent just sitting around and wondering,
Yeah.
literally just wondering, what do I do next? I had days when I just hung out, just laid in bed, watched TV all day. because I didn't know what to do. I had no clue what to do. And
Mm-hmm.
I could have gotten depressed about it. I mean, I guess to a certain extent, at times I felt like I didn't know where I was going, and maybe that's depression. I don't know. But I kept searching, and the more I searched, the more I found. And every time I saw an opportunity to learn more, I did it. And you do a lot of the same thing. And I wasn't afraid to invest in myself. And I'm still not afraid to invest in myself. I think that's the most important investment anyone can make. You get more out of investing in yourself than you would for any stock or anything. Any kind
Mm-hmm.
of investment is the best investment is always yourself. So, I've learned, it's been a learned process to uh, be strict enough with myself to work all day long. And there are times that I work through into the night, but there's also this part of it where we've got to learn that we aren't going to get everything we want done when we think we can get it done. For example, I have several videos I need to make for my course and for my Facebook ad. And I wanted to make them today, but we tend to think that we can do more in one day and less in one year.
Yeah.
When the reality is we can't do as much in one day as we think, but we can do a whole lot more in one year than we think we can.
Yeah.
So I tend to overbook my mind for what I need to do each day. And then I get
Yeah.
disappointed in myself when I don't achieve all those things. And if I look back at this past week, I got a shit ton of things done.
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot this week. And if I were to show it to people, that, wow, you did all that this week. Like, yeah, I did all that this week. But I probably would look at it and say that I should have gotten these other things done too.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that, I mean, I definitely can. Like when you were talking about how you had all these things you wanted to do, all these things you knew you had to do, but yet felt like, I don't know where to start, or I don't know what to do. So I'm just going to sit down, watch TV, or I'm just going to sit here and chill for a minute, and maybe it'll come to me, right? But then and then I think of that law, an object at rest stays at rest. An object in motion, gains momentum and creates more powerful motion, or whatever the quote is.
Right.
But
An object in motion stays in motion.
Yes, and an
I love
object at rest
Andrea's comment.
stays at rest.
She writes, do you have Fred Flintstone in Canada? We're not on a different planet, Bearj.
Yeah, I wish I could see the comments. I'm not getting the comments right now. So Bearj, you're the comment moderator. Okay.
So far, just some people saying hi, and Andrew says age is irrelevant if you are on the same page.
Boom.
Yeah, I don't think anything about age. I don't think a thing about age at all. Like, it's funny. My older sister, she used to ask me, like, I don't understand how you're friends with people who are younger than you. It's like, what do you mean? What do you talk to them about? I said, talk to them about what we have in common. Like,
life.
Yeah. What else? I don't get it. To me, a lot of people who are my age they're emotionally done. A lot of people, they've been through a lot, they've gone through a lot, and they are not interested in making changes in their life. And heck, if they're not interested in doing that, I don't really have that much interest in talking to you, because there's really not much we can talk about. We don't have that much in common anymore.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel it's interesting because I feel similar in the sense where I feel like a lot of people my age are kind of just like, I don't know, maybe they're still in like this party zone or something. I don't know, because I remember when I was like 14, 15, 16, all I wanted to do was party. Like, that's all I wanted to do, is get together with a bunch of my friends and party. Maybe we drink, maybe we play video games, maybe we get high. I don't know, but all I wanted to do is party. And I think by the time I was 21, I was over it. I was like 21, like I'm legal drinking age now in America, but I don't want nothing to do with that party stuff anymore. Like, I really don't. I love partying. Like, I love getting together with a bunch of people and enjoying ourselves and doing that kind of thing. But, when you throw in alcohol, excessive drinking, binge drinking, it's tough. And so I have a trouble relating to a lot of people my age, because everyone wants to go like party. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, it's just, it's a way of relating, right? It's okay for some people. Some people, they could relate to that. But for me, I have a tough time relating to a lot of people my age too. And that's just goes to show how irrelevant age really is. Like Andrea said, age is really, it's just a number. cliche saying, but it is just a number. And I think like I relate to Bearj so much. That's why we hang out all the time, right? I don't know how old
Yeah.
Bearj is. I don't know if Bearj knows how old I am. I don't know if it matters, but you know what I mean? So that's why. And like I could think of off the top of my head right now, like friends of mine who are decades older than I am and friends of mine who are like a decade younger than I am. And it doesn't even make a difference. It doesn't matter, right? As long as you could relate to that person.
You have 12-year-old friends?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I like the way you said, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. Of course.
Oh, yeah. Eh? You know
Oh,
it.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Eh?
That's how we roll here in Canada. The Flintstones.
Yabba dabba do time.
Yeah, man. So do you remember what I was talking about last week when it comes to my goals?
You were talking about having this consistent wake up time.
I was. Let me talk about that. So I think last week, or it was 2 weeks ago, I was telling you guys about my consistent wake up time and how I was kind of having trouble with it a little bit because it's new for me, right? It's not something that I've been doing. I've always had a sporadic schedule. Like I'll just do whatever I want, whenever I feel like it. And it's kind of cool and all, but at the same time, it's tough to predict when things are going to get done, right? So I'd love to have an open schedule where I could go out and do whatever I want, whenever I want. But the problem there is like, it's tough to predict, I'm going to have this done by that time, or I'm going to get this project done, or hey, I'm going to have a block of time here where I could focus on my music, or a block of time here where I go to my book, or some time here I could go hang out with friends. So I've been really trying to consistently create a good schedule. And 2 weeks ago, I think Frank was talking about how it'd be a good idea to try having like a rest day. So I was consistently waking up early for a few days and went really well. And then on Sunday, I took a rest day. I did nothing. I just kind of laid around. Actually, it was tough because I had to force myself to not work. I had to force myself to not go on my phone or, go hang, like mess around on social media or start opening up the record or start writing things. I had to stop myself from working on Sunday because I just wanted to get into it. But it was cool to have a rest day. I also had a fast day, so I didn't eat any food on Sunday. That was pretty cool. And it made Monday morning breakfast like really exciting. So that was fun. But I think where I'm at right now is the consistent wake up time is going well. It's fun. I'm definitely seeing the results. That's one thing that I wanted to have that result. So, I wake up first thing in the morning and I spend 2 hours conditioning my mind, body, and soul. And it's like, that's done. It's out of the way. Like I don't have to think about exercise or affirmations or reading or meditation for the rest of the day. And so I love that about the mornings where I could just wake up earlier and get all these things done in like a 2 hour block of time and then have the rest of the day free to just do whatever. Right. So that's been really cool. I'm pumped about that.
I have a question.
Do you?
Yes.
Let's hear it.
As your accountability partner,
Yeah.
to help you get up early in the morning, and we talk every morning pretty much. And my question to you, and I'm going to put you on the spot, you need to be transparent about it because we're live here on Facebook and whatever you see online is true. So what I want to know is in the morning when I do that wake up call in the last 2 weeks, has there been any one time or more that you've rolled over and gone back to sleep?
Yeah, I think at least once, 1 or 2 times. I think last week was a lot tougher than this week. This week went really well. And sometimes, you call me and then I get off the phone and then I lay there for like another 5-10 minutes and then I get up. So
that's okay.
That's better than sleeping in for another few
that.
hours. You know what I mean? But last week was tough. Last week, I think 2 days last week, I ended up going back to bed for like another hour or 2 or something. But regardless, man, I'm still really proud of myself because it has been tough, man. Like I could talk about this. I can make up stories all day about how difficult it is for me to get out of bed early in the mornings. But at the end of the day, I'm putting in the effort. It's getting better every day. So that's really good, man. I've been focused on that. What else am I focused on? I think another thing, I was talking to you about feeling overwhelmed with some of the stuff I'm working on. And something that's really helped me this week, I've been just trying to tie up loose ends. So you know what I mean by loose ends? Like those little tasks or little things that you have to do. It's not something that needs to be done on a regular basis. It's just like a one-shot, one-time thing that needs to be done. I've been trying to do a lot of that stuff just to get it out of the way so that I have more time and more energy to focus on, hey, I got a record that I need to finish and a book and stuff like that. So something I'm working on, something.
And what could make it all better?
What could make it all better? I think more than anything, what would make it better is just a stricter schedule, less breaks. I mean, because I work a lot of the time, I'm just at home working on different things. I don't have somebody there to get on my ass about things when I start to get tired or when I start to get lazy. So, for example, I take breaks fairly consistently when I'm working alone at home. So it's like I'm working on something, it's going really good. Okay, let me take a break and just sit here for a second and, stare off into the distance, or let me take a break and check my phone, or let me do this and do that. So where I think I can improve is just less breaks, less distractions, being more like, focused in on what it is exactly that I'm doing and just that one thing, rather than, oh, hey, I'm over here checking this out, and then I'm working, and then I'm taking a break and I'm going here. So that's something, an area that I think I could really improve. Is it's all about consistency right now for me. Like, I've got lots of goals, man. I want to put out a record. I want to put out a single every single month. I want to put out an ebook, an audiobook, and paperback book every single month. I want to build a strong community of inspiring, uplifting, motivated people online through social media and in my community. I want to play gigs consistently and have fun doing that. Also want to have some spare time to focus on some of my hobbies, like skateboarding, go skateboard and have a fun time, spend some time with friends, watch some movies, stuff like that. So
Come to America.
Coming to America, that's a goal. But I find my number one goal is my schedule, my time management, and my habits. Like those three, like that's my number one goal. Because I understand, like, look, if I could master the schedule, if I could master my productivity, my time management, then I would have plenty of time in a day to spend some time on my music, spend some time on my book, spend some time with my family and friends, spend some time learning, spend some time just relaxing, right? If I could manage my time, if I could eliminate the distractions, if I could, focus myself from all these different things going on, I could easily I could cram so much into a day. So part of my process lately has just been eliminating the little things, eliminating the little distractions, and finding more time to stay focused on what it is I actually want to do. Because I understand, like, if I could just get this habit, schedules, dailies, productivity, if I could get that down, everything else will fall into place. That's my belief system right now. So it gets me excited about time management, because I realize, hey, if I could focus on time management, energy management, consistently following my schedule, then I could easily get everything I want to do done in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year. And then I could achieve all my goals that much faster and build discipline along the way. Like, that's something I really want to work on, is building stronger discipline, stronger self-control, so that when I say I'm going to do something, I do it instantly right away and I know it's done. I don't even have to think about it, right? Having that kind of discipline, that kind of control, I think is so important to me anyways, because like I said, if you have that kind of level of self-control, if you could say to yourself, like, hey, I say I'm going to do it and I know it's done, then that's ultimate power to me. And that's the ultimate power that I've been trying to manifest, to implement, to create every single day. Do you have any tips? Like, how do you discipline yourself, or keep yourself consistent on the things that you want to do?
That's probably the most difficult thing. I mean, it's difficult for you. It's difficult for me. It's probably difficult for all entrepreneurs to get yourself focused. But for me, it's kind of like, if I get the snowball rolling down the hill, it picks up steam. Like, if I see something that I'm working on that's growing, I want to keep going at it. I'm excited about continuing. I'm excited about seeing it get bigger. I'm excited about making it get to the point where it's finished and ready to go. So, like, I've got the social media thing happening, and there's some things behind that I'm about halfway through where I need to be, and I'm excited to get it to where it needs to go. Like, I'm going out to see my coach this week in Nevada, and I'm excited about the things that he's going to give me to do next. So I want to get things done before I get to him, because I know I'm going to have more things to do when I get back. So the next few days are a sprint for me to get these things done. And it's, I don't know. I get it. I like seeing the growth. That's what gets me
Yeah.
excited. And I think, as far as distractions are concerned, it's a lot like fixing the hard drive in your computer. When your hard drive slows down, it's because all the things, the data is put in all these different places. All the pieces of one file or whatever are stored in these different places. So when your hard drive has to access it, it's got to go to all these places to grab it, and it slows it down. And I think the same thing happens with our lives. If you were to see my desk right now, I would be embarrassed to lower the camera because I blew this thing up and there's stuff everywhere. So I need to clean this up because it slows me down.
Mm-hmm.
And when I straighten this up, that focuses me and makes me more excited to get my work done because I'm in a clean space. I'm in a healthy space. It's fun to be in that space again.
That's what I've been trying to tell all my friends.
Did you just have a guest walk in or something?
No, I just
Was that
looked
the
around
dog?
because you talked about cleaning, and I was just
Oh,
looked around my room and I was like, man, I'm clean. I feel good. Because I just been trying to tell my friends the past 3 weeks or so. I think I watched a documentary like 3 weeks ago called Minimalism or like Minimalist or something. It's on Netflix, and it completely changed my perspective around like stuff and around
right.
possessions. And so like I've been every single day I get rid of something. I either throw something in the garbage or I throw something in the corner. I'm gonna donate that to Goodwill, the thrift shop. And it's, dude, just like you said, when you get rid of stuff, when your environment's clean and focused, your mind's clean and focused. At least for
Right.
me, there's people out there who claim that a messy environment, like just complete disaster, chaos, apparently gives them creativity. Apparently, it helps them be more productive.
And it may be
Hey,
them. May
maybe
work for them.
that's for you, but for me, man, that drives me insane. Like I cannot imagine having a messy house. I cannot imagine my desk right now clean, man. I cannot imagine if it were messy, or if my room were messy, or if like my drawers, like I do not have a lot of clothes. I just bought this shirt today. I'm probably gonna wear this all the time. You guys are gonna see this all the time because I only have so
I
many
like that
shirts.
shirt. It's a good shirt.
Thank you, thank you. I love how it looks on camera. I like how the camera messes with it. It looks like a static, like TV static. But anyways, that's what I've been trying to tell all my friends because they all think I'm crazy every time they're like, "You're throwing this out? You're giving this to me?" I'm just like, "Yeah, take it." They're like, "Oh, but how could you're giving this to me?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not. I don't want it. Get it out of here." They're like, "You're crazy. You're crazy. Why are you getting rid of everything? Stop. You're gonna get rid of all your stuff." I'm like, "No, I feel great about it because think about it, like I have books on my shelf that I never read, and like, what am I just gonna sit there and just not read them? No, I'm gonna give them to somebody who will read it. And
Yeah.
the way I see it is, I'm adding value to people's lives. That's all I want to do is serve and add value to people's lives, right? So if I've got shit laying around my house that I'm never ever gonna use, I'm never gonna touch it again, I'm never gonna think about it twice. Why not give it away? Pass it on to the world. Maybe somebody out there, maybe it'll save somebody's life someday. This book, or this fork, or this spoon, or this pair of pants, right? Like, just get rid of it, man. What do I need it for? I'm never gonna see it again. And
A
then,
life-saving spoon.
hey, Bearj, you just never know. You just never know. Anyways, it's about 6 o'clock. I gotta piece. I gotta get out of here because I have a gig coming up. But I want to talk a little bit more about goals before I go. So, create like some sort of plan, some sort of accountability thing for next week. So, Bearj, man, what's your focus for the next week, and how is the implicit nation going to help hold you accountable to that?
Okay, so this coming week is going to be a very disjointed week for me because, like I said, I'm leaving Tuesday morning to go to Nevada, and I get back Thursday night. So those 3 days are going to be dedicated towards two things: learning from my mentor James Malinchek, and I'm gonna, I'm focused on that. But I'm also going to be in Nevada, near the Grand Canyon, near Las Vegas, near the Hoover Dam. So I do want to go to see one of those places. I've been to the Grand Canyon, and the time that I'm going to have available probably isn't enough to get there, but I might be able to rent a car when I get there on Tuesday and go to the Hoover Dam. If I do, I will either be doing a Facebook Live if I get a signal, or I'll record something and then post it on Facebook from the Hoover Dam, which would be really badass cool.
Yeah.
So that's something I want to do next week, and I do want to shoot some video while I'm out there because I think that's a cool place to do it. if I have that time. I mean, I've got the evening on Tuesday and the morning on Wednesday, and then later in the evening on Wednesday, and then I leave the following morning. So I don't have a whole lot of time there, but I want to, do some of those things. But before that, I'm my goal is to get as much of my online stuff done that I've got to finish. I want to finish getting my course over as much as possible onto this new site, and I want to also uh, get the ad that I'm going to be putting up on Facebook for it as ready as possible. Some videos I've got to do. So that's what my goal is to get done by Monday night.
Cool.
And watch the Super Bowl.
Is that a thing? Is that a thing?
Watching the Super Bowl? Is watching the Super Bowl a thing? Is that what you're asking?
I don't know anything about sports.
Well, here's the deal. The Super Bowl was a really good chance.
Do I look like I know anything about sports? No.
The Super Bowl is a really good chance to go and hang out with some friends.
No, totally, yeah.
That's what it's about. I'm hopefully going to hang out with my buddy and his wife, and his kids are like my nieces and nephews. He's like my brother, and she's like my sister. So
that'll be fun.
Hopefully going to hang out with them. We've been chatting about it a little bit, and if I get to do that, it'd be really awesome. The Super Bowl, most people watch it for the commercials.
That's what I hear, yeah. Like, I know my parents are really into it. They're always watching the Super Bowl and stuff. But yeah, I've just never really been into sports all that much. I mean, that's not true. I liked hockey for a while, but that's Canadian, so what do you expect? I didn't even know the Super Bowl is coming up this weekend, man. That's why I was like, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That'll be fun.
Now you know.
Now I know. Me, man, I got a gig coming up tonight, so I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to go there. I'm going to play lots of music. It's going to be fun. And this weekend, I think what I really want to do is I want to finish my first draft for my book that I'm writing to go along with my record. So when I release my record, release date coming soon. When I release my record, I'm releasing a book alongside it. So you're going to have like 10 songs, and then there's going to be a couple tracks of like an audiobook. So I'm going to have an audiobook, and then, or you could just get like the physical actual book part. But that's something I think that needs to be finished because I'm releasing another book. So Monday, I'm releasing another book in the Mastery series. It's going to be called Motivation Mastery, all about motivation, how to get motivated, take control of your life. So that's something that's going to be coming up. But I also really need to finish this book, man. I'm telling you, I've been procrastinating on it because it's such a hard book to write. I've really had to take a step back and look at my past, which is not so easy for me. I don't spend a lot of time looking into the past. So it's easier for me to write a book about self-development, about personal development, about self-growth, like pushing yourself to that next level, like mastery, right? That's why I'm doing a different mastery book every month for the next 12 months, because that's easy. I could talk about that for days. I could write about that forever. But to go back into my past and to look at like memories and like find a way to word that.
Memories may be beautiful and yet it's water-colored memories.
So anyways, that's where I'm at. I want to finish the first draft of that book. I'm going to send it to a few friends to get their opinion, this would be fun because like with my personal development books, the mastery books I'm writing, I don't really send them to anybody beforehand. I just release them. I mean, I've got editor, Andrew, she helps me out with all that stuff, and that's it. But this book, I definitely want to send it out to a few people beforehand just to kind of get their opinion. This is a little bit more personal. So I think that's why it's a little more difficult for me to kind of put myself out there, be vulnerable, talk about myself and my story, my struggles. So yeah, that's where I'm at this weekend. That's my main focus, is finish up this book and keep on working on some mixes. I want to keep finishing up my record. Hopefully, you know what? This hopefully bullshit. I will, by the next call, have the first draft of this book done, and I'm gonna at least have one new song to put out. That's something I'm working on. So when the book and the song are released, when is that supposed to be? What's the target for that? I haven't announced a specific release date, but I'm aiming for April. It's going to be, okay. I'm aiming for April. I mean, it's hilarious. I feel so dumb. about how many times I said, yeah, the book's going to be out, the record's going to be out in January. It'll be out in February. It'll be out, you know what I mean? But I've delayed it so long. For the past 2 years, I've been delaying this record. It's so stupid. It makes me feel really
Does the book go
dumb.
with the record, or does the book go with a specific song?
No, the book goes with the whole record. So there's a record, 10 songs coming out in April, and then the book's going to come out along with it. And the book is basically about me, my story, how I got to where I am, why I do what I do, and then it also explains the meaning and the story behind the 10 songs that are on the record. So it shouldn't be too hard to write. Writing about the songs.
On my show when you do that, right? You're going to do that on my show?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll be on your show, man. I'd love to come back. So that's my plan, man. That's what I'm working on. But anyways,
can I do a quick promo for my show for Monday?
Yeah, do a promo, man.
Cool. So on Monday, I'm having Beth Allen. If you know what DIY is, do it yourself. She is like the DIY queen. Teaches women how, her motto is she teaches women how to screw and hammer too, which is really fun. She's an awesome person. She's hysterical, and she's going to give people some tips, and she's even going to give away one of her free courses, an online course that she has that teaches women how to, there's some do-it-yourself stuff, how you can do some different do-it-yourself home projects, which is really important today because a lot of women they're out there on their own. They're single moms or the divorcees or whatever. And in the past we had this mentality where the man does all this stuff. And quite frankly, women can do these things too. And they can save money instead of spending the money on paying someone to do it for them. So she's going to be my guest on Monday, and it's going to be a blast. She's a hoot, and she and I have a great time laughing when we're together. So it should be a good show. It's 7:00 Eastern time on Monday.
That's wicked. I'm all about that DIY stuff. So guys, check it out. On Monday, you're going to watch the Implicit show at 5 p.m. We're going to hang out. We're going to have some fun. We're going to make some laughs. It's all going to be good. And then we're going to take a little break for maybe an hour and a half. And then we're going to tune into Bearj's show at 7.
That's it.
And we're going to pick on Bearj.
Back-to-back shows.
We're going to
create our own station.
We're going to be in the comment section, be like, Bearj, you look funny. Bearj, I like your glasses. Bearj, what's that thing in the background? Yo, Bearj, do it yourself. Yo, Bearj, DIY. Bearj, you listening? Bearj, America. And then is there an eagle emoji? Can I eagle emoji you?
What if we did
America? Okay, let's get off here. We gotta get out of here.
Create our own station, the Emerita station, or the Canerica, or something like that, and we could have our own station.
There's a lot of civil unrest in the States right now. I think we really should start that. Bring Canada and the U.S. together.
Yes.
Canerica.
Anyways, guys, that's the Motivation Mastermind for this week. We had fun, man. We talked about entrepreneurship, man, what it means to be an entrepreneur, the struggles, our personal experience with entrepreneurship. Keep on going, Bearj. I love that. Next up, we talked about friendship, how you could really be friends and learn from just about anybody. And that's beautiful. And last thing we talked about, overwhelm. What it feels to be overwhelmed with all these freaking goals, all these things you're trying to do in life. So that's the show today. I hope you guys are really enjoying Bearj's
tequila.
So that's the Motivation Mastermind, everybody. Hey, we'll see you guys Monday. We'll see you guys next week. Be fun, man. I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend, because that's what the weekend's all about. Peace. Get your peace sign out, Bearj. Get your peace.
We're not both on there. It's just you.
Wait.